The briefing room was thick with tension, the air heavy with the acrid scent of burnt coffee and frustration. Rows of seasoned fighter pilots and top aerospace engineers sat hunched over scattered blueprints and flight data recorders, their faces etched with exhaustion. For 3 weeks, they'd been chasing a ghost, a fatal flaw in the F-39 Spectre, America's most advanced stealth fighter. 2 identical crashes, both occurring during routine high-G maneuvers. The left engine would flame out without warning, sending the $200 million aircraft into an unrecoverable flat spin. The military's brightest minds were stumped, and with each passing hour, the program crept closer to cancellation. At the head of the long metal table, Major Richard Thorne, a decorated F-22 pilot with a reputation as sharp as his kill count, slammed his fist down, sending coffee cups rattling. "Enough with the computer models," he barked, his voice cutting through the murmur of technical debates. "This isn't some algebra test, it's a flying machine. You need pilots, not programmers, to fix it." His eyes swept dismissively across the room before landing on the lone figure by the coffee station, a young woman in a standard-issue airman's uniform, her dark hair pulled into a tight bun, her hands steady as she refilled a carafe. No name tag, no insignia, just the surname Morgan stitched above her pocket. Thorne smirked, nodding toward her. "Someone tell the coffee girl we need a fresh pot. The adults are trying to save a weapons program here." A few chuckles rippled through the room, but General Elias Wallace, the grizzled base commander watching silently from the corner, noticed how the woman's shoulders didn't tense, how her breathing remained even. There was something unnerving about her stillness, the way her eyes tracked the technical discussion like a predator assessing prey. As the arguments escalated, Thorne insisting it was pilot error, the engineers blaming unstable aerodynamics, the general watched Morgan's fingers absently trace invisible equations along the edge of the coffee tray. Then, without a word, she set down the carafe and walked toward the massive glass whiteboard at the front of the room. The murmurs died as she picked up a marker. Thorne snorted. "Oh, for Christ's!" The screech of the marker cut him off. What happened next wasn't writing, it was a revelation. Her hand moved with terrifying precision, fluidly sketching complex differential equations before transitioning into a 3-dimensional rendering of the F-39's aerodynamics. The room watched in stunned silence as she illustrated how a microscopic vibration in the canards, undetectable to instruments, was generating a vortex that starved the left engine at exactly 7.2 gs. Then, with a final flourish, she drew the solution, a 2-inch strip of titanium along the wing root, redirecting airflow like a surgeon repairing an artery. The marker clattered onto the tray. For 5 full seconds, no one breathed. Then the lead engineer, a MIT PhD, whispered, that would actually work." Thorne's face went pale. General Wallace rose slowly, his eyes locked on the small, dark blue patch on Morgan's sleeve that he'd almost missed, a silver star streaking through atmosphere, the insignia of the 417th Special Projects Squadron. The Air Force's most secretive test unit. The screen behind them flickered to life as an aide pulled up her file. Captain Evelyn Morgan. 4,872 flight hours. Rated on, State Route 91 Aurora, hypothetical, X-44 Manta, allegedly cancelled, and 7 other aircraft that didn't officially exist. The general's salute was so sharp it could have cut steel. "Captain," he said, voice thick, "I believe this is your briefing now." 6 months later, the Morgan strip would be standard on all F-39s, a $1,200 fix that saved a $20 billion program. The whiteboard photo would hang in every ready room with the caption, "Assumptions kill." And Thorne? He'd request transfer under her command, the only demotion he'd ever been grateful for. As for Captain Morgan? She went back to pouring coffee. Because real legends don't need recognition. They already know what they're worth.